Imagine being lost in the middle of a blizzard, your life hanging by a thread, and suddenly, a mysterious voice tells you what to do. Sounds like a movie, right? But this really happened, and it's the amazing story I'm going to share with you today. This is a story of survival, faith, and a divine call in the most unexpected place, the Arctic. It all started when I was 19 and helped a neighbor move to Alberta, Canada. After working with him for a few weeks, I decided to head north, towards Alaska. Little did I know what was coming. By mid-February, I had traveled 1,500 kilometers, walking through the snow, trying to reach a trading post on the Liard River. Supplies were running low, and I knew I had to keep moving or I would die from cold and hunger. That's when I heard something that would change my life forever. Suddenly, a voice told me, "Turn left." I looked around. No one was there. I ignored it and kept walking until I heard it again. Turn left. Even though there was no reason to turn left, I felt compelled to do so. And there it was, a cabin half buried in the snow. Inside, I found an old hunter, Henry Bruce, lying there on the verge of death. He had dragged himself to the cabin after breaking his leg, and he was out of food. But the most incredible thing was that he had prayed for help. And that's when I realized I was there because of his prayer. In that moment, all my self-confidence disappeared. I was there not by my own will, but because God had answered Henry's prayer. I thought I was lost, but I was actually being guided. I realized that heaven is deeply concerned with the welfare of every human being. That night was freezing, but I knew I had to run for miles to the nearest trading post. Not for me, but to save Henry. Even though I was exhausted and starving, I felt an invisible force guiding me and giving me energy to keep going. I reached the trading post just before dawn, and 2 men with dogs were sent to rescue him. Sometime later, Henry wrote me a letter thanking me for saving his life, but I always knew that he was the one who saved mine. This experience completely changed my view of prayer. I learned that prayer isn't just something for the afterlife, but for the here and now. Henry's faith moved God's hand, and he used me, someone who was lost, to save that man. Whether in a blizzard or any situation, never underestimate the power of prayer. As we reflect on this incredible story, we are reminded of the power that God has to care for us and save us from any situation, no matter how hopeless it may seem. Just as the protagonist was lost in the Arctic wilderness, we too can often feel lost in the challenges and struggles of life. But in those moments, we are never truly alone. God hears our prayers and answers in ways we may not expect. In Isaiah 65:24, it is written, "Before they call, I will answer. While they are still speaking, I will hear." This story is a living testimony of that promise. Even when we feel abandoned, when we are walking through the storms of life, God is watching over us, ready to guide and deliver us. The experience of being led to save the old hunter shows us that God's love and care extend to every corner of the earth. The Lord will keep you from all harm. He will watch over your life. The Lord will watch over your coming and going, both now and forevermore. Psalm 121, 7-8. In moments of deep uncertainty, when everything seems out of control, prayer becomes our lifeline. Henry's prayer for help moved the hand of God to send someone in his darkest hour. This shows us that no prayer is too small, no situation too dire for God's intervention. As we end this journey, remember, the power of prayer and faith in God is what sustains us through life's harshest storms. Just as the stars in the night sky guide the way, so too does God guide and protect each of us. "I will not leave you as orphans, I will come to you." John 14:18. Thank you for joining us on this journey of faith and survival. No matter where you are or what you're facing, remember that God is always near, listening, and ready to guide you. If you enjoyed this inspiring story, give it a like and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. And remember, we are never truly alone, even in the hardest situations. Faith has the power to transform. Thanks for watching.